The tranquility of the soul according to Seneca. The tranquility of the soul, according to Seneca's teachings, is a powerful remedy against the anxiety that so often dominates our lives. In a society that constantly bombards us with expectations, demands, and uncertainties, finding inner peace is not just a philosophical ideal but a practical necessity. Seneca, in his letters and essays, offers a perspective on how to deal with the mental unrest that we now call anxiety. For Seneca, anxiety arises from excessive concern for the future and the desire to control the uncontrollable. He writes in one of his letters to Lucilius, "Many things terrify us more than they harm us, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Often, the worries that trouble us are ghosts created by the mind. We envision catastrophic or frightening future scenarios that have not yet materialized and may never come to pass. At times, we anticipate a scenario in our minds, and when it does occur, if it occurs, we realize it was not as bad as we imagined, and we end up suffering needlessly." Seneca divides life circumstances into two categories. First category, internal factors. All aspects of life we have the power to control or modify, such as our behavior, our reactions to events, and others. Second category, external factors. Aspects of life we are unable to control or change, such as social status, recognition, what others think of us, death, and more. For those circumstances that fall into the first category, which we have the power to change, we should do everything possible, within the bounds of virtue, to shape them in our favor. As for the circumstances in the second category which we cannot change, we must simply accept them as they are. According to Seneca, we have no control over external factors. The pursuit of status, wealth, or social recognition is, for Stoicism, a constant source of unrest as it places our happiness in external factors beyond our control. Instead, Seneca advises us to seek self-sufficiency, contentment with what we have, and the strengthening of the mind to resist external pressures. "He who is content with his lot is rich," he writes. Thus, when we face a problem, we should ask ourselves, is this situation within my control to resolve? If the answer is yes, we should resolve it. If the answer is no, we should let go of the problem. As the saying goes, if there is no remedy, the issue is already resolved. We should not waste time trying to fix something that has no solution. Stoicism emphasizes the need for acceptance and letting go of control over things beyond our reach. This advice has practical applications in everyday life. When we face challenges or uncertainties, Stoic philosophy suggests focusing only on what is within our control. Worrying about outcomes we cannot guarantee is a way of wasting mental energy and fueling anxiety. For example, instead of being distressed about a potential setback at work, we should focus on what we can do well now and accept that the final outcome is not entirely up to us. This acceptance of what we cannot change is liberating. By acknowledging that we cannot control external circumstances, but only our reactions to them and our behavior, we can reduce the intensity of our suffering. As Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but the opinions we have about them." Suffering often stems from the importance we place on life circumstances. Depending on how we view things, they can seem overwhelming or merely a breeze. Even in truly challenging situations, resistance to accepting reality and the desire for things to be different than they are intensifies our suffering. Accepting reality, however harsh it may be, is an essential step toward finding inner peace. Thus, the first step toward achieving tranquility is learning to live in the present, focusing on what is within our control at the moment. Epictetus wrote, "Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional." It is common to find people in a state of anxiety from trying to control the uncontrollable. We don't have to be one of those people. For Seneca, a practical life is one of simplicity and internal control. Another important point Seneca emphasizes is mental preparation to face adversity. He recommends that instead of avoiding discomfort or fearing the unknown, we should prepare for the difficulties that life will inevitably bring. Seneca states, "Adversity is the occasion for virtue." Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than threats, helps us face life with more serenity and less anxiety. In summary, the tranquility of the soul, as taught by Seneca, is a daily practice of controlling our thoughts, moderating our desires, and accepting life as it is. It is not passive resignation, but an inner strength that allows us to act calmly, even amid storms. By internalizing this philosophy, we can significantly reduce anxiety, living with more balance and peace. As Seneca wisely reminds us, man is unhappy only because he thinks he is.